Has your dachshund ever given you that look? The one that says, I heard you, I understood you, and I have decided to ignore you. If you've ever struggled with a stubborn sausage dog who seems to run on their own unique set of rules, you're not alone. But what if I told you that this infamous stubbornness isn't a personality flaw? It's not a training failure. It's the sign of a brilliant, independent mind, perfectly engineered for a job that required immense courage and the ability to make life or death decisions, completely on its own. This is the real, historical reason why dachshunds are so stubborn. To understand the dachshund's stubbornness, you have to understand its original job description, and it was nothing short of terrifying. The name Dachshund literally translates from German as badger dog, but this wasn't a casual nickname. It was a precise job title. In the forests of Germany centuries ago, badgers were a serious problem. They were powerful, tenacious diggers that would raid crops, damage property, and their complex underground tunnel systems, called setts, were fortresses. Sending a large dog or even a human after a badger in its own home was a fool's errand. The badger held every advantage. It was in a dark, cramped, confusing maze where it could turn and fight in a space too small for most predators. So, German foresters needed a specialist. They didn't need a dog that would look to them for commands. They needed a dog that could be dropped into a hole and would then make a series of critical decisions entirely on its own. They engineered the dachshund to be this specialist. Let's break down that engineering. That long, low body. This wasn't for cuteness. It was for low clearance terrain. It allowed the dog to crawl deep into badger tunnels that other animals couldn't penetrate. The large, paddle-like paws. These are powerful digging tools designed for excavating soil and clawing at a cornered badger. The loud, deep bark. This was the "I've found it" signal. A hunter above ground would listen for that bark to know where his dog was and what it was doing. The incredible lung capacity and stamina needed for the sustained physical exertion of a prolonged underground battle in low-oxygen environments. But the most crucial piece of engineering wasn't physical. It was mental. They needed a dog with a specific kind of intelligence, not the biddable, "what would you like me to do?" intelligence of a retriever, but a fierce, independent, problem-solving intelligence. A dog that, once it entered that dark hole, would rely solely on its own courage, wit, and determination. It had to assess the threat, choose a strategy, and see the fight through to the end, all without any input from its human partner. It had to be stubborn. This history explains everything about the modern dachshund's personality. You are not living with a disobedient dog. You are living with a legacy independent operator. When your dachshund hears a command, its brain doesn't simply process command equals action. Its deeply ingrained genetic programming kicks in, and it runs a much more complex calculation. It's essentially asking itself, is this command logical? Is it in my best interest? Does this human understand the situation as well as I do? Let's break down common stubborn behaviors and see them for what they truly are. The selective hearing ignore. You call your dachshund and it looks at you and then deliberately looks away. In the badger den, stopping to obey a distant call could mean losing the prey or letting the badger gain a tactical advantage. Their independence was a survival trait. Your recall command is being weighed against what they deem more important in that moment. The digging and burrowing, you find them digging relentlessly at their bed, your sofa, or the garden. This isn't mischief. It's a deep-seated instinct to create, clear, or secure a tunnel. They are practicing their core trait. The surprising aggression or big dog attitude, a dachshund will often fearlessly challenge a dog 10 times its size. This is not a delusion of grandeur. This is the courage of a badger hunter. In their mind, they took on one of the most formidable opponents in the forest. Why would they back down from a Labrador? The loud, persistent barking, that surprisingly deep, resonant bark is their bred-in tool for communication. In the tunnels, the hunter above ground relied on that bark to locate them. They are genetically programmed to use their voice to signal, "I am here, and this is my situation." Their stubbornness is, in fact, a manifestation of their legendary courage and problem-solving intelligence. They were bred to think for themselves because in the darkness underground, there was no one else to think for them. So, what does this mean for you, the owner of a four-legged, self-employed badger hunter? Fighting their nature is a battle you will not win. The key to a harmonious life with a dachshund is not to break their will, but to channel it. You must become their trusted hunting partner, not a micromanaging boss. Here's how to work with their stubborn nature. Motivation is everything. You cannot command a dachshund, you must negotiate with one. They are famously food motivated because a high-value reward makes their internal calculations swing in your favor. Asking what's in it for me is their default setting. Use small high-value treats to make compliance the most logical and appealing choice. Make it a game, not a command. Frame training as a puzzle or a hunt. Instead of a repetitive sit, hide a treat and let them find it. Use their love of digging by providing a sandbox or a snuffle mat. Engage their problem-solving brain on your terms. A mentally stimulated dachshund is a well-behaved dachshund. Consistency and respect are non-negotiable. Their intelligence means they will constantly test boundaries. If a rule is flexible one day and firm the next, their independent mind will see no reason to consistently obey. Establish clear, consistent rules and enforce them with calm, firm leadership. They respect confidence. Embrace the quirks. Understand that the digging, the barking, and the independent streak are not them being bad. They are expressions of a 1,000-year-old genetic blueprint. Provide them with acceptable outlets for these behaviors, and you'll transform your frustration into appreciation for the incredible, unique dog they are. The next time your dachshund plants its paws and gives you that determined look, remember, you are not looking at simple stubbornness. You are looking at the ghost of a badger hunter. You are witnessing the fierce, independent spirit of a dog bred to be its own master in the face of incredible danger. That stubborn streak is the price of admission for sharing your life with one of the bravest, most clever, and most character-filled breeds ever created. If this deep dive into the dachshund mind has helped you understand your own dog on a whole new level, then do us a huge favor. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell. Your support helps us uncover the true stories behind your favorite breeds. Now, we have to know, what's the most stubborn thing your dachshund has ever done? Tell us your best sausage dog stands their ground story in the comments below. We read every single one. Thanks for watching.